What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. With that being said, man, I want to speak on some comments that Ric Bucher recently made about LeBron James and like how players and GMs and managers and stuff like that around the league think that maybe LeBron James throughout his career has not been playing and operating on a level field, if you know what I'm talking about, right? As far as like he's had like help. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. And so now part of what I want to talk about is like, you know, people think that maybe he's, like I say, he's not playing on a level field. But the other part I want to talk about is the closer that LeBron James get to retirement, the more and more this type of information comes out about LeBron. And I think that that is not like that is by design, in my opinion. I think that it's by design, and I think that once LeBron leaves, a lot more information about LeBron James will come out about him, and some of it, most of it, probably won't be flattering, right? And I'm gonna give my opinion on why I think that this information is coming out, why I think it's probably going to get worse, after LeBron James retire. But I want to play what Ric Bucher said. Ric Bucher has been somebody who has really been going at LeBron James lately, right? So he might be like, if there's anything big or breaking news that come out about LeBron James, like he might be the one to really just break it, because he's like I said, I think it's by design, and I think that they're setting Ric Bucher up to be the one, Rick, to just really just to drag LeBron, like once his career and stuff is over with. But or the person who is in charge of exposing LeBron James, right? And so I'm gonna play what Ric Bucher had to say about LeBron James, and then I'm gonna comment on what Ric Bucher said.
He can be disciplined in developing his skills and his shooting and all of that. But his out may be, but I want to eat and drink what I want. If he cared enough about what he ate and drank to treat his body like a temple, I would think he would have been doing it a long time ago, because he's already felt the repercussions of not doing so. And if he looked at LeBron and thought, man, he holds the secret, he could have pursued that a long time ago. He didn't need to be a teammate to have that realization if he was going to have it. It's one of the more annoying aspects, I'd say, of the idolatry of LeBron, that he is credited by some as being this sensei that has the answer to all things basketball, and that everybody is going to him for the answers. Now, we know for a fact that guys did that with Kobe. I don't know of anybody who has said, yes, I sought out LeBron to find out his secrets. I certainly, look, I appreciate LeBron for what he's done. I just don't make the assumption that everyone wants to be him. And there's also the nagging question about exactly how he's maintained such extraordinary fitness at such a ripe age. Now, whether there's any basis for the speculation, and I think you all know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to voice it because I don't have the means of backing it up. But we all know what the speculation is out there. And I can assure you there's plenty of it privately by players and personnel in the league. Like, I've always thought, maybe it could be. And I've had players and coaches say things to me like they take it for granted. They assume it's true. It always catches me a little off guard. They're just like, oh, yeah, that's going on. And look, and it could be jealousy. It could be just wild speculation or gossip, being presented as fact but it's there. And even regardless, it takes a great deal of dedication and discipline to do what LeBron has done with his conditioning all these years, even if he's getting some sort of boost.
All right. So you heard what he said, right? That even if he's getting some type of boost, then then it takes a lot of dedication and stuff like that. But I think part of the thing too, I want to say about that, I'm not going to say too much about like how much of a boost he probably get. But LeBron James really he really don't really play a lot of defense, and so he don't put a lot of wear and tear on himself. He really just lately for the last couple of years, he's really just been playing like half court basketball, picking and choosing his spots, and so that's I think part of it. Another part of what I wanted to talk about is like how players really don't like. Ric Bucher said like players really don't go to LeBron James and just try to like pick his brain. Like Kobe went to Mike and wanted to pick Mike's brain so he could get that like understand how Mike had that edge and get that mentality and stuff like that. So Kobe went to Mike, and I heard other players who said that, Joe Johnson said whenever he was around Michael Jordan, like he just got quiet and just watched and observed Mike and listened to everything Mike said. But again, Ric Bucher said that like these players in the NBA are not like that today with LeBron James. Like nobody wants to be LeBron James. Nobody's picking his brain, and I think that's for a reason. Anytime somebody have and people did that with Kobe, and anytime you think somebody's having any type of success, you want to know why. Like what is your secret? I had people call me about business, and ask me about different, like what do they have to do to be successful in business? Like exactly like what is your secret? Like and I've had people. So when people ask you that, that means that they must admire your talent or your acumen, whichever one it is that they think that you have, like your business talent, your business acumen, or they want to know how you doing what you're doing. And so if people think that LeBron James is maybe getting some type of boost somewhere, then they don't want no parts of that. And he also said that he spoke about like a little bit about like other players like really don't he don't see them looking up to LeBron, and nobody wants to be, LeBron. And that's another thing that you saw with like Mike and Kobe. Like people, they wanted to, again, players wanted to be like Mike. They wanted to be like Kobe and stuff like that. So you see kids coming behind Kobe who emulated Kobe. Um, a generation of kids coming behind Mike who emulated Mike and tried to be like Mike, Dr. J. But this LeBron James is one of the few players. Well, I can't think of no superstar, like nobody on his level that like a lot of people don't really want to be like him. Even kids are coming into the league. You don't hear a lot of people saying like, LeBron is my favorite player. LeBron, I wanted to be like LeBron. Especially guys who play in the league now. They not really and I think it's a reason for that. I think people probably, in my opinion, I think people probably get the impression that LeBron James cheated the game. And so with that being said, that's why I want to get into like a part of like why, like this type of information about LeBron James or this type of stuff is coming out about LeBron James. And so I think that is I think personally, I think that like the powers that be are really not happy with LeBron James. I think that LeBron James did not live up to his end of the bargain. LeBron James got that like he was anointed. He's the chosen one. He's King James. What else they call him? You know, and he didn't live up to once they gave LeBron James that title, he just refused to work and live up to that title. But he did take advantage of that title. You know, he took advantage of that title, but he didn't work for it and earn it. Like when you look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, those guys really put in the work in the gym. So if they were chosen by the league, or let's say Mike, the league chose Mike to be the face of the league. But Mike also put that work in. Like Mike was he was just a fanatic, he just was fanatical about working and getting better and trying to dominate in the league. So that's a win-win for Mike, and it's a win-win for the league. You got somebody who really just wanted to be the best basketball player that he can be, even though the league and the sponsors and everybody was geared towards just like building Mike up. And so Mike lived up to his end of the bargain by working hard and putting in that work and having the players around him. Like I said, players wanted to be like Mike. Our players wanted to pick Mike's brain. And that's good. That's good overall for the league. That's good overall for Mike. But LeBron ain't do that. LeBron, he didn't work like what Mike did. And it showed. And then ratings went down. Um, you know, sales and the advertisers and sales and advertising, that stuff went down. And so I think that the powers that be are really not happy with LeBron James, and they're allowing this kind of stuff to come out about LeBron James because they're not happy with LeBron James. And that really reinforces to advertisers, the league, that they need Michael Jordan. And I think that's part of the reason why, like, Michael Jordan is coming to NBC next year, next basketball season, is because the NBA is just trying to get back to their old formula. That way their sponsors can make money, that way the NBA can make money the way they're supposed to, the way they're used to. And the NBA is going to be it's going to have, it's going to spike, it's going to go back up. But they can't have somebody on staff who's basically LeBron James is a slacker. He took advantage of the fact that they put him out there, and he didn't perform like they wanted him to, and the league slipped while on his watch. And I think that they don't, like, advertisers don't need him. You don't need LeBron James and Michael Jordan. You can't usher Michael Jordan out if the league is slipping while LeBron James in there, so LeBron James basically saved Michael Jordan's job. He's no threat to Michael Jordan's legacy. He's no threat to Michael Jordan's empire. He's no threat to Michael Jordan at all because LeBron James didn't work. He wanted the league, he wanted the sponsors, everybody to take everything from Michael Jordan and hand it over to him. He didn't earn it. He didn't force Michael Jordan out. He just wanted that stuff to be given to him. And he's in for a rude awakening once he retired. And so that's my take on it. But I do want to know what you all think about what I just said. What I want you to think about, or comment on what I just said, and let me know what you think about Ric Bucher, what he's saying. Do you think there's any truth to what the rumors about LeBron James, and is he cheating the game in more ways than one? And so, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a message, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.